there's a difference between being victimized, like somebody have an example, recent example, or last year, or whatever, in the last year, in which you were really victimized. Carjacking, someone breaking into your house, whatever. Maybe not that dramatic, but in some way that you were objectively victimized. Yes, Patricia?
Purse stolen.
Yeah. Beautiful. I mean, not beautiful, but yes. And then, name again?
Sonia.
Sonia?
Without my even being consulted or told ever, I lost my office recently.
Yeah. So there are things, thank you, that happen in which we're just victimized. And sometimes we create that and we don't even know it. Sometimes we create it and we don't even know that we've created it. And part of our work during the event is going to be to learn how to track that, so that when those patterns those automatic unconscious patterns from childhood just take over, so that we can create ourselves as victims in order to keep self-identifying that way. Our identity is tied up in these three drama roles. Who would I be if I wasn't a victim? Who would I be? Well, I'd have to be successful and powerful and be responsible and have passion, and that's too freaking scary for me, so I'm going to stay a victim. Or if I wasn't a rescuer, if I didn't self-identify myself as a rescuer, which is different again, like being a victim is different than being victimized. Being a rescuer is different than helping somebody. So maybe, I met Helena recently in New York, and I know that she helps people. So the question for her is maybe it's not a question, maybe she's really clear on it. I'm not a rescuer, I'm called to help people. Or I'm a rescuer, and I've got all my identity tied up in helping people, and I don't know who the heck I am if I didn't do that. So I got to do that with my children. I got to do that with my wife or my husband. I got to do it with my parents. I got to do it with everybody. So I don't get to have relationships in my life. There's no relationship when you're a rescuer. There's no relationship when you're a persecutor. And there's no relationship when you're a victim. Not relationship like Fleet was speaking about wise. I'm a wise, innocent person. I'm here. I'm in relationship with Marvin. We're having an adult conversation, There's an adult here, Purna. There's an adult here called Marvin. And we're having a conversation. No. There's a rescuer here and a victim here, and we're having this thing that we think is relationship, and it ain't. And then all the resulting garbage and baggage and drama that gets created, because there's only drama here. There's only drama. The victim is a hungry, the persecutor is a hungry, the rescuer is a hungry being that must have drama. I gotta have some drama if I'm a rescuer, because if there's no drama, who am I gonna take care of? There's gotta be some kind of negative feeling, something has gotta go wrong for me so I can fix it. Something's gotta go wrong for me as a victim so that I can have something to feel victimized by. And maybe we're just walking around still feeling victimized by what happened with our parents, by the fact that my dad was angry all the time. It was interesting. My sister, whose name is Amy, She's 3 or 4 years older than me. She's a psychologist. She lives in Los Angeles. And she called me, she's an Orthodox Jew, and she called me, is it Yom Kippur is the Day of Atonement? So she called me the day before Yom Kippur, and she said, I've got to talk to you. I said, okay. And I said, what's up? She said, when you were a child and mom and dad weren't around, I would pinch you and hit you all the time. Who thinks that's funny? And and I've been carrying around this guilt about it forever. And I just, it's Yom Kippur, so I need to talk about it. And I said, okay. And so talk about it. So she talked about it, and she apologized, and she said how bad she felt about it. And I said, I remember it. I remember some of it. And it's just not a problem for me. And she kept saying to me, it's got to be a problem for you. And I said, it's really not. And she said, how come? And I explained my understanding of family lineage, how things were passed down from I knew my dad's father. I knew him. And I know why my dad was angry. And I knew that family lineage. And I knew why my sister was angry, and that it got passed down to her, and she did it to me. And not just intellectually. Like, knowing that intellectually is not enough to step off the drama triangle. It's not. But knowing that as an imprint in your body, which is what the event is about. The event is not an intellectual process. It's about getting a new imprint in the body. Oh, I've got this imprint there's something called the drama triangle, and this is how I get hooked into it. There's something called a drama hook. Thanks, Neil. And it's just like a hook, like a fishing hook. And it's called a drama hook. And somebody says something, and we're just reeled into the drama. Again, the rescuer is a very slippery place because we look good. We're helping other people. And only we know. We talk in the event about ruthless self-honesty. Only we can be honest to say, I'm doing this, and I don't want to do this anymore, because here's the cost. This is to know what it costs me to rescue or persecute or to be a victim. In terms of victims, they either create situations. I created this, boom. I'm not saying this is true, Patricia, but, yeah, somebody took my purse, but, she didn't tell us that she left it at a bus stop on a bench and went back the next day, and it was gone. And she said, oh, my purse has been stolen. I'm joking. But, we create it.
Well, I did put it down.
Of course, people put their purse down, yeah. Or if we don't create it, we promote it. Meaning, we just talk about what happened to us forever. And we talk to people about it. We just keep promoting our victim story. Or there's sometimes we become a victim where we allow something to happen. We don't create it. We don't promote it, but we let it happen. We let it happen. So we're going to get ruthlessly self-honest about some of this stuff this weekend, over the next 3 days. So one of the things we're going to do, what we're going to do right now, Farah, you want to come up here and